bag is there or swap it?
Oh, yeah.
That's
I appreciate it. I really do.
Sounds swap, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Shalom, Israel. As you know, it's the Sabbath service. Excuse me. And today we're going to talk about Abraham and Sarah. Abraham and Sarah. Listen, if you're watching, go into these stories. I hate saying the word stories, so like it. Go into these accounts. Go into our records, right? Because you learn so much from them. There's an instance between Abraham, Sarah, and a certain Pharaoh. You understand? Now listen. You're going to learn something from it. You're going to learn what it is to be courageous or fearful. You understand? You're going to learn what it is to be courageous, fearful, a coward. I know you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, Abraham and Sarah, what that got to do with that? I'm going to let the class build in. If you're watching, check in. Baba Kushai, your name, where you from, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Barakatah, Yahweh Shemar Ladah Bashem Yahushai. To everybody tuned in, make sure you like and share the video, support the truth, everything ISUBK. We here, man. We rocking out. We here. So, you know, before we throw up these prayers, I just want to give special water to the brothers that's here every week, Itazam and Natazat. You understand? The water to y'all. You get my point. Them brothers is up and coming, strong. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Abraham and Sarah. Abraham and Sarah. So, boom. I'm gonna let it build up before we throw up these prayers. Also, sisters that watch class, I don't know if you know, you want to cover your head. Whenever you're watching class, reading scriptures, not just in class, you want to cover your head. We're gonna get started in just 1 second, all right? Shalom, everybody. Shalom. 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 If you're watching, I want to know what Abraham means, and I want to know what Sarah means in the comments. I need to know the meaning of Abraham and the meaning of Sarah. I think I say it like every class for some reason, because I'm a little, I like that account, Abraham and Sarah. Today we're going to be reading Genesis the 20th chapter. Is going to be a good one. Can you hand me that Tanakh? The Tanakh consists of what? Not that.
That would be the accounts of Moses, sir? You mean like the Old Testament?
Kind. You have the Torah. What's the Torah? The what? What's the Torah? The Torah means law.
Okay.
Thou Ra. Right? You want to write this down. Right? Or come back, rewatch the video, write it down, however you want to do it. I know I got y'all on specific tasks. So like it. But Torah means law. Torah is the first 5 books. So Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Torah, that's the Torah. The Tanakh consists of from Genesis to Malachi. That's the Tanakh. That's the law and the prophets. Psalms and Proverbs as well. But we're going to read Genesis 20. But before we do that, so, right, this is what, so Imadium, right, just the brothers up here. If I may, Itazan. Sorry. Right, so you get your shofar.
That's why.
Mm-hmm. Right? Got your incense burning. What's this one called right here?
San Antonio, sir.
Okay. Is that cheap stuff or? I'm just asking.
Nah,
Most High in Christ. Don't get nothing. You want to get the best. Feel me? So, La Yasharala. Right? Oh, yeah. Whew. Pretty strong. You see how I did that, right?
come.
The ram's horn, right? What is the ram's horn called? Shofar. Things you want to remember, all right?
Come.
I'm trying to teach y'all that and this at the same time, all right? What is this? These are the scrolls. This is the Old Testament and the Hebrew. So, Imadium wa punya kudum, Imadium, stand or rise, wa, and punya, face, kudum, east. Right? We go throw up these prayers. Do me a favor, relight these incense for me, Baba Kashad. No, that's fine right there. All right, this is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazah, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Matan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabiyah Nawa, Sayawan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, Wahalamyum, Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Remember this order. Hakak, the power. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kushai, Nathan Lanau, Hakak, Larapah, Call, Makala, Wakal, Madua, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazarayim, Hakak, Lahaquayim, Hamathium, Hakak, Isle, Rakawat, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, for water, Amen. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings. Rakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawap Yam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kayayoyim, Wa Ha'akwatyan, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for water, Amen. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Haharyam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, Ayatan, Lamawat, Regalka, All, Yanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yaminka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarach, Balayallah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Aza'avka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'ita, Wa'aid, Iwalam. In English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. Right? Psalms 83. Excuse me. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all,
all,
Damiyalaka,
Damiyalaka,
all,
all,
Bakarash,
Bakarash,
all,
all,
Bashakwat,
Bashakwat,
all, Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
our Yabyaka,
Yabyaka,
Yahamayawan,
Yahamayawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Ayel, Aimaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Yaitazawa, Ayel, Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakyadam, Magaya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Yawa, Aitazawa, Laba, Kadwa, Al Yaka, Baryaf, Yakarathwa, Alaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashamalium, Mawaba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Halashath, I'm Yashabya, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Aimam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Sarah, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Wakaza Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Manai, Kal, Asayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairasha, La Nawa, Ra'af, Nawa, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Waka, Ka'ash, Abaira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Balahat, Haryam, Kun, Daradapma, Basairaka, excuse me, Wabasa, Pathka, Babahalam, Mala'a, Waya, Bahalwa, Adya'ai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Da'aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shumka, Yahweh, Labadka, Ayawan, Al-Kal, Ha'arataza. Sar, which means turn. Shabim means to be seated. May be seated. Get the most high hand. So like as you see on the screen, we're going to be talking about Abraham and Sarah, right? What more of a beautiful way to start your day with the Sabbath service? You understand? The Sabbath service is, this is the end of the week. This is how you start your week. It's the end of the week, and it's how you start your week. Make sense?
Come.
You get my point? So this is like a recharge, spiritual recharge. I asked for Abraham and Sarah. The sister put Abraham, father of many nations. That is correct. Sarah, princess. That is correct. Get a sister hand.
Right.
Now I need with Abram and Sarai. I need Abram and Sarai. I know a lot of brothers and sisters, as soon as I get to reading the Hebrew, tune out. So I'm gonna keep you busy. Abram, we got Abraham and we got Sarah. Now I need Abram and Sarai. Go ahead, Aitazan.
I believe Abram is father.
I know you know.
Oh.
You here, right?
Oh, slimy.
I'm keeping them busy.
Oh, before.
Nah, I know. Most High in Christ. Right? I need Abram and Sarai, which was Abraham and Sarah's name before it was Abraham and Sarah, if that makes sense. Following along?
Come.
So we're going to read 7 verses. This is what we do. We read 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we read it in the English, and then we break it down. All right? So let's go to Genesis 20. I need Abram and Sarai. I'm going to be looking in the comments. Y'all. Right? That's how you start your day. Come down a little lower. Just a little bit.
Here we go.
A little lower.
A little lower.
Let me see. A little more.
Is that 12?
Center it though. Boom, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. I don't want to cover my shield. It's like it. That's like tucking it to me. I don't know. That's just nothing. I don't tuck my shield. So let's go. As I read this, Abraham and Sarah was correct, sis. Abraham and Sarah, you got that correct. The water. We appreciate your interaction in the class, sis. Everybody interaction. But now I need Abram and Sarai. Now I need Abram and Sarai. Or Sarai, not Sarai. Sarai and Abram. While I read Genesis 21 through 7, then I'll come back for the answers, all right? Genesis chapter 20, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayasai Masham Abraham Rataza Hana Gab Wayashab Bayan Kodash Wabayan Shawar Wayagar Bagarar, that's right. Waya Amar Abraham Al Shalah Ashathwa Thaya Hayawa Waya Shalach Abaya Malak Garar Waya Kwak Ach Shara Waya Ba'a Alahayam Al Abaya Malak Bach Lawam Halayala Waya Amar Lawa Hanan Math Il Ha'asha Ashar Lakwa Kath Waya Waha Wa'a Bailath Ba'al, so like it. Wa'abaya La one or no. Wa'abaya Malan La'a Korab Alaya Waya Mar Adunya Haga Raya Gum Taza Dak Taza Dayak Thaha Rad Hala'a Hawa'a Amar Laya Akhtaya Hawa'a Wahaya'a Gum Hawa'a Amara Akhya Hawa'a Batham Lababya Wa Bun Kwayan Kapaya Aisha Yatya Za'ath Waya Amar Alayawa Ha'alahayim Bakalam Gum Anakya Yadaithya Kaya Bathum Lababan or Lababka Aish Yatha Za'ath Wa Ach Shun Gum Anakya Awathka Machatawa Laya Al Kaya La'a Nathath Yawa La Nagai Alaya Wa'itha. This is the last verse. Hashab Ashath Ha'ayash Yash Kaya Nabaya'a Hayawa Wayath Palal Ba'id Ka wa Chayath wa Ayanka Masha Yab Dai Kaya Mawath Mawath Atha Wakal Ashar Laka. All right, let's read those verses. Let's read those verses.
The book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 1.
I need Abram and Sarai. The meanings of Abram and Sarai posted in the chat, all right? Go ahead, all right.
And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country
Right.
and dwelled between Salakia.
Who did this?
Abraham.
Okay, go ahead.
And dwelled between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar.
Mm-hmm. Gerar.
Salakia.
That's all right.
And sojourned in Gerar.
Right.
And Abraham said of Sarah, his wife, she is my sister.
Uh-huh.
And Abimelech.
Mm-hmm.
And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah.
So here it is. Let me get right. I know we like, what is Gerar, right? Gerar is a location, obviously, but I'm gonna get it for you in the Zondervins, right? Gerar in the Zondervins, this is the definition. This is where Abraham went, right? And sojourned in Gerar. And Abimelech was the king of Gerar. It says a town in Negev, near but not the Mediterranean coast of Gaza, a valley running northwest and southeast on a protected inland caravan route from Palestine to Egypt. Here Abraham sojourned with his king Abimelech and later Isaac. Did you get the point? What's going on, Doc? Y'all watch me look at that. We're talking about Abraham and Sarah today. All right. Yeah, Abram, Sarah. Okay, so Abram would be father exalted. Sometimes you could loosely exalt someone, but it is father exalted. And then Sarai would be, Sarai is Shariah, which is my princess. My princess. You understand? Shariah, Sarah is just princess. Makes sense? But kind. So we got Gerar, right? Now I need, when we read the next 7 verses, I'll have another set of questions I need answered in the comment section. Right? But we're gonna read these 7 verses and then I'll have those questions for you, all right? Good night, my Bible reads. Go ahead, all right.
Genesis chapter 20, verse 3. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him.
So here we see Abraham said of his wife, she is my sister. So was Abraham with his sister? Let's keep reading.
Behold, thou art but a dead man.
God came to Abimelech because Abimelech the king, he sent for Sarah. Because Abraham said, this is my sister. You got to think about it. And when you read the Bible, it tells you that Sarah was a beautiful woman. You know that we, as Israelites, produce beautiful women. You get my point? Our women are beautiful. But keep reading. No, it's all right, sis. It's the participation that matters. You get my point? I appreciate the participation. Go ahead. But I got another set of questions. Go ahead.
Thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
The woman which you took, look, the Lord said, you are but a dead man. I'm going to kill you. That's how serious it is, sleeping with another man's woman. The Lord said, I will kill. You're a dead man. You sleeping with another man's wife. Now, Abimelech ain't sleep with her. He got her in the holding cell, or wherever he got her in the waiting room. He's a king. He has plenty of women, but he wanted Sarah. Right? Abimelech was a Hamite. He was African. He wanted this Israelite. Well, she wasn't an Israelite, but she's the mother of him. You get my point? Why did I say that? Not to that.
Because Israelites start with Jacob.
Get it by their hand. Right? Sarah was not an Israelite, but she was a Hebrew. She was of the chosen line where Israelites come from. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 4. But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation?
Right.
Verse 5. Said he not unto me, she is my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And she, even herself, said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this.
Right. So what is Abimelech saying? Go ahead, Atazan.
Pretty much from what I'm getting, I'm guessing he really thought that Sarah was Abraham's actual sister.
Why though?
Because he referred to her as my sister, and she also said that he is my brother.
Okay. But why did Abraham say that?
Why did he say that?
Why did he say that? Is that the truth? Let's get Abraham's genealogy. Let's get Abraham's genealogy real quick. I believe it's Genesis 11 and 27. I'll read it. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram. That's Abraham. Nahor and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before those, so those would be his brothers. Nahor, Haran. Lot would be what to Abraham? Because you're going to learn about Lot later on as you read Genesis. Who was Lot? Not to that.
That'll be Abraham's nephew. So.
Give him a hand. We gotta learn. We gotta know this. So, and Haran begot Lot, and Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abraham and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai. The name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. Iscah is where you get Jessica from, which means Yasaka. I believe it's beauty to behold or something to that effect. But here's the point. It says nowhere in there that Sarah was his sister. He had brothers. You see? He had brothers. It didn't mention anything about him having sisters, though. It says in verse 31, and Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son's son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law. So, wait a minute now. Go back to Genesis 20 and 2. Something's going on here.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 2. And Abraham said of Sarah.
Said of who?
Of Sarah.
Said of Sarah,
his wife.
His who?
His wife.
Read on.
She is my sister.
She is what?
She is my sister.
But wait a minute. In the records, there's nowhere in the Bible that says Terah, who was who? Who was Terah? We just read it.
I'm like,
No, that's all right.
terrible.
I like it's too early to
I like-
all these damn questions.
No, it's like I like lost my place.
Who was Terah? Not the Zot.
Is that Abraham's what?
Father.
Oh,
So Terah is Abraham.
Terah is Abraham's father. You see?
Okay.
So, now who was Abraham's brothers?
You just said.
If you got to go back to the verse, that's fine. Genesis 11 and 27. There's a point to all of this. Right, Karab Mashat? You know my method. Right? It's all going to come together. Go ahead, Karab.
His brothers was Nahor and Haran.
Nahar and Haran.
So
Or,
like,
Haran, Haran, tomato. You get my point? But where do you see that Terah had a daughter named Sarai? Is it in there or am I tripping?
There's no.
There's no. So what is going on here? Why did Abraham say this is my sister? Let's keep reading.
Oh.
Let's keep reading. Where we at? Verse 6?
Verse 6.
Let's go.
The book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 6. And God said unto him in a dream,
Uh-huh.
Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart.
The Lord said to Abimelech, I know you did this in the integrity of thy heart. I know that you asked who this woman was, and Abraham told you that it's his sister. I see that.
For I also withheld thee from sinning against me.
He said, I also withheld thee from sinning against me, meaning I also withheld thee from having sex with her. I didn't allow it to happen. Keep reading.
Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her.
Right? Read on.
Verse 7. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet,
Right?
and he shall pray for thee.
Restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet. Read on.
And thou shalt live.
And hold on, he shall pray for thee.
Oh, Salaki. I'm going to start from the top. Salaki.
No problem.
Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee.
So we just went to Genesis 11 and 27 to show that Abraham had two brothers and a nephew. His father was Terah, or Terah. He did not have a sister. Abraham said in Genesis 20, this is my sister. So was fake Israelites to teach that he was, with his actual sister. That's incest. You get my point? We all have webbed feet in here, right? And web, you know what I mean? Like Edomites, how they be,
Oh my goodness.
You get my point? That's why a lot of the pharaohs had a lot of deformities. You get my point? Because there were incestuous relationships. Say that 5 times. Keep reading.
Khan. And he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live.
Right. Read on.
And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine.
Keep reading.
This is verse 8. So.
Right. Keep reading.
Okay, come. Therefore, Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears. And the men were sore afraid. Verse 9. Then Abimelech.
So Abimelech told all his servants, get that woman out of here. And then go get me Abraham. I gotta have a talk with him. Right?
Come.
Read on.
Verse 9. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, What hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee? That thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin.
What?
A great sin.
That's how serious sleeping with another man's wife is. A great sin. The Lord's going to destroy his nation, his whole empire. Read on.
Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? Verse 11. And Abraham said, Because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake.
Right.
And yet, indeed, she is my sister.
Mm-hmm.
She is the daughter of my father,
Right.
but not the daughter of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she became my wife.
Now, what is going on here? We read in the genealogy that Sarah wasn't there. So what does this mean? Go ahead. First and foremost, what did Abraham do in the first place? Listen, Abraham was an amazing brother. Abraham, if you have not read about Abraham and his accounts, I strongly recommend you do. A man of great faith, a friend of the Most High. But right here, he did something that you are not allowed to do. What did he do?
I just want to make sure I'm following this right. Is Sarah his sister-in-law?
Wow.
Or no?
No, Sarah his wife.
I mean, like.
Look, I understand verse 12, but this is what he did. He lied.
Come.
He lied to Abimelech.
Oh.
Why? What's the reason you lie? Not Zach.
He was doing it for their safety.
No. He was being a coward.
Okay.
When you lie because you're afraid. You understand?
Huh.
You're afraid, so you lie. You think about all the times you lied to mom. Where was you at, boy? I was you was lying. You lying. You know you lying. But why are you lying? Because if you tell the truth, you feel like you should tell the truth no matter what.
Come.
But Abraham, he lied right here. Now go ahead, not to that.
So like, sir, but technically, wasn't he not lying?
No, he wasn't. No, he was.
Because he was saying, he pretty much in that verse, he was saying like, I mean, like, he was giving him details, but he gave him truth without details. Like, this is my sister because, you know what I mean, she's the son of my father, which is God, and you know what I mean, but not biologically my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So he led him on to think that he was really telling the truth because that's his sister in the same nation, but not his sister as far as like through their bloodline.
Keep reading. No, I hear you. I'm gonna explain it though. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house that I said unto her, This is thy kindest. Slakia. This is thy kindness which thou shalt show unto me. At every place whither we shall come, say of me, he is my brother.
Now, I want you to go to Genesis 12. Right? Genesis 12 and 6.
The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 6. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Slakia.
Go to 10. Go to 10 to get to the point.
Verse 10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there.
Where did he go?
Into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. Keep reading. And it came to pass when he was come near to enter Egypt, to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
Okay. Can you read it?
Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me. But they will save.
Is it making a little bit more sense?
Okay.
He did this before. Now you know why. I went here first. I went to Genesis 20 first. Now we're going to Genesis 12 to give you why he's doing this.
Okay.
Why he told Abimelech, this is my sister, because he was afraid that they would kill him because his wife is beautiful. So if he said, this is my wife, they are going to kill me and take you.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
Verse 13. Say I pray thee that, say I pray thee, thou art my sister.
Say I pray thee, you my sister.
Okay.
You see? So when Abimelech asked, it's just because remember the Lord appeared unto Abimelech in a dream. And he said, I asked him who this was. He said that was his sister, and she said that was his brother. Now you're learning why. Because he said, I pray thee, say you are my sister. You get my point? Read on.
That it may be well with me for thy sake.
That it may be well with me for thy sake. Read on.
And my soul shall live because of thee.
And I won't die.
Damn.
You see? Read on.
And it came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair.
Then when they came into Egypt, they saw Sarah, and she was bad. Right? Read on.
The princess.
Because you think about what they look at all day.
Right.
Africans are. It's like it. Read on.
The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the women, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house.
This is Sarai.
Sarah.
You understand? Read on.
And he entreateth Abram well for his sake. And he had sheep and oxen and his asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels.
Right. Abram was wealthy. Right? Let me keep reading.
And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife.
Read on.
And Pharaoh called Abram.
Now, does that sound familiar? Remember what he did with Abimelech? He told Abimelech, yeah, you a dead man. That's what he said. You're a dead man.
Damn.
Because you're about to, you have another man's wife in your possession with the intent of sleeping with her. You're like, wait a minute. What you mean? I thought he said that this is his sister. She said that was his brother. They was brother and sister. Right? But now you got the reason why they were saying that. Because Abraham was scared that they would kill him. Now, if you was in that position, what are you supposed to do? What you supposed to do? If you walking in, if I walk into Egypt, I got my ribs, whatever. And I know they fair, they covered, they modest, but I know we going into heathen territory and they gonna be looking. And they come up to you and they like, who's that? It's my rib. What you wanna do? You get my point? You gonna try to kill, I'll die before I lie and say that this isn't my wife. You understand? But that's the important, Abraham was afraid of them. You shouldn't be afraid of them. You get my point? Read on. Oh no, go. You had that question? You had a question?
Well, it was just a comment. I was just gonna say, so from what I'm reading, he's inviting sin because for one, he's lying, obviously, but he's lying and saying, like you said, this is my sister when it's really his wife. So, it's pointing out right now, if somebody's trying to sleep with her, then it's showing what's happening. The Most High is nah, you ain't gonna do that.
No, excellent. Not to Zab, no. The Egyptians, keep reading in Genesis 12. 17. Watch this, not to Zab.
The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 17.
This is my wife. You get my point? Tighten my girdle. What you mean? The hell, you better back up, heathen. And Abraham was a mighty man. He went to war. He just had a weak moment. Abraham was an amazing brother. This is just a weak moment. Right? Go ahead.
And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that that she was thy wife?
The king of Egypt, like, why didn't you tell me this is your wife? Read on.
Why saidst thou, she is my sister? So I might have taken her to me to wife. Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way.
Man, take your wife and go thy way. You see? But why did Abraham say that? Why did Abraham say she is his wife? I mean, his wife is his sister. It's in verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, what they shall say. Oh, so like it. That they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. Because you're going to lie and say you my sister. You get my point? Now, what does the Bible say? Romans 15:4. For the things written aforetime are written for our learning. So what do you learn from this?
Well, I'm learning two things. One, I mean, obviously, just don't lie.
Don't lie. But why do you lie? Think about why you lie.
You're afraid.
Because you're afraid. You lie because you're afraid. There's no other reason. You lie because you're afraid. Don't be afraid.
I was just gonna say the second thing. I'm just gonna say just man up. Like that's like I don't know. I'm just like.
But manning up is telling the truth.
Like that's your rid. Like
okay, say you're trying to get with a woman.
Okay,
When you lie, why are you lying?
Because you're afraid.
Because you're afraid of what?
Of her.
yeah. It's deeper than that.
Well, I mean,
you're afraid she's not gonna mess with you.
Well,
so you're gonna lie about I got the the 2020 Jeep on dub. Right? Or I'm in that Benz. I guess alright, you on the bus. It's fine. You gotta lie. You get my point? I'm on a bike right now. I remember it's like I always bring up high school. Listen, high school was traumatic for me. Look, I remember it was this woman I liked. I liked her a lot. In like 9th grade. She was in 10th. So like it. And I didn't really care. I was doing my own thing. I wasn't that fascinated with her. But she was cool. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, she's cool. Her name was Sarah, by the way. Goddamn. That's crazy. But look, she came up to me one day and was like, hey. I was like, the hell? You know what I mean? I'm like, what you doing talking to me? That was my mind back then. But she was like, she tried talking to me. She tried talking to me. And I'm like, okay, I see. In my mind, I'm like, I see where you going, right? Then she was like, we should go out sometimes. Skating rink or arcade or something, right? And then I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. And then she was like, do you have a car? I was like, a car? 15. What do you mean I don't have a car? I rode here on a scooter. I didn't get, I'm 9th grade, bruh. But in my mind, I could have been like, yeah, I got a car. I'm thinking about my mom's car. I got a car. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you working? She literally asked me these questions. But what I said was the truth. I was like, no, I don't have no car. You get my point? Then, do you have a job? No. Stay with my mom. I'm 15. I just turned 15. You get my point? But I could have lied. I could have said, yeah, I got a car. Yeah, I work at Wendy's. What you need? But when she go to Wendy's, I ain't gonna be there. Because I lied. Now, what's she gonna think of me? I'm a liar. You get my point? So, She missed out. But anyway, so like it. But that's crazy. Her name was Sarah. That's just a little funny account in my life. But I didn't lie to her. I didn't lie to her. And it's not just about women. It can be lying about anything. You get my point? Like if you at a job, if you be interviewed for a position that requires 3 years experience on what? The damn, what's that called? A forklift. And you in the interview like, yeah, so tell me a little bit about yourself, Mike, whatever, right? Oh yeah, you know, whoop-de-whoop. Okay, so the position requires you to have experience with the forklift. Do you have experience with forklifts? Now, if I don't have experience and I lie and say yes, what's gonna happen?
Slocking for my lingo. I was gonna say, that's your ass, sir. They gonna put you on that forklift.
They gonna put you on the forklift and they gonna find out he don't even know what a forklift is. But why did you lie in the first place?
Because you were afraid you weren't gonna get the
You
job.
were afraid you were gonna get the job. When you could have told the truth, like, listen, man, I don't have much experience, man, but listen, I can learn. That's the truth. You get my point? With anything, tell them you should be honest. You get my point? Because you get on that forklift, now that you told the truth, they gonna show you how to work the forklift. Like, you know what, don't even sweat it, man. I appreciate that you was honest to me. Because I didn't fire 3 dudes already before you who said that they knew how to work it, and they didn't, and we let them go. But you the first one to admit that you gotta learn. You gotta get some experience somewhere, right? I mean, you know. But that comes with telling the truth. So go back to Genesis 20. Genesis 20.
I believe we were at 14. No, we passed that. No, we're at 15.
No, we at 12. Genesis 20 and 12.
2012?
Yep. Well, let's start there.
Okay, calm. The book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 12. And yet, indeed, she is my sister. She is the sister of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife.
Now, what did he mean by father? His father, Terah? No, because he didn't have no sister. What was he talking about?
You said
You know, we have the same father,
Right.
but we have different fathers.
He's talking about the Most High.
No,
No.
talking about their race.
Well, God,
They
that's
come
what I
from
mean, like-
who? Who was Sarah from? I mean, Abraham from? Where did Abraham come from? Who was the forefather of Abraham?
Slog, sir, his forefather or his like?
His forefather. Shem.
I'm overthinking. Slog.
Shem. Shem. Abraham is of Shem.
Damn, I'm like,
Y'all like,
my bad.
Shem, that's right, Tapasar. See,
I was gonna say Adam.
right? And Urana, that's right. Natazah, excellent precept. Right? They were of the same race. They were the same line.
God.
That did not, but Abraham was still trying to, you know, you do have the same father, but, you know, I wasn't lying to you technically. You lied, man. You lied. You get my point? But the Most High, he had Abraham's back. And Abraham should have trusted in the Lord that the Lord wouldn't allow them to kill him over his wife in the first place. That's what you gotta have faith. Listen, get Isaiah 8 and 16. This is what the mindset you're supposed to have. You don't fear a job, you don't fear that woman, you don't fear rejection, you don't fear anything but this. Isaiah 8 and 13.
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 13. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself.
Sanctify who?
Sanctify the Lord of hosts
What does
himself.
Lord of hosts mean? I need that in the comment section. The Lord of hosts. What does that mean? What does that term mean? Lord of hosts. Keep reading. Verse 13.
Come. And let him be your fear.
Let who?
Let him be your fear.
No, let him be your fear. You see that? You see the difference?
Okay.
Let him be your fear versus let him be your fear. Read it for me one more time.
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 13. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear.
And let him be your fear.
And let him be your dread.
And let him be your dread. That's what Abraham was supposed to do in that situation. He was supposed to fear the Lord rather than men, rather than the Egyptians. You know, Abraham he slayed kings. He went to war. He collected heads. Hey, that's our forefather. Where you think, brothers and, Israelites, we like, you know what I'm saying? We know how to fight and this and that. Where do you think we get it from? You know where our forefathers are? You know where Jacob wrestled? You get my point? But keep reading.
Come. Verse 14. And he shall be for a sanctuary.
Yeah, kind. Brother getting deep. Eber. All right. Tapasar said Eber, right? What does Eber mean? Ooh-wee. What? Shem came from... I'm going to get the scripture. Hold on. Genesis.
I thought Eber was Abraham's father.
Eber was who? Who's Eber? Eber, E-B-E-R, and what does it mean? I'll give you a second. Eber, go ahead.
So I can't remember who I think I know what the name means. I believe is it Hebrew?
Eber means Hebrew. That is correct.
Which means from the past.
Get that brother a hand.
Right.
Right? But who came first? Eber or Shem? Go ahead.
Is it Shem, sir?
What was the question?
Who came first, Eber or Shem?
And who came first?
Is it Shem?
That's correct. Eber is where we get the term Hebrew from. You understand? Eber was the great grandson of Noah's son Shem. You get my point? When I said I'm gonna give you a second, I gave me a second too. But let's go to Genesis 20 and 12. I didn't catch that. I just looked it up. Go to Genesis 20 and 12, because I ain't gonna tell you nothing that ain't factual.
Come.
I just wanted to double check.
The book of Genesis chapter 20 verse 12. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother.
So are we clear on what happened here?
Come.
In summary, and those of you watching at home, what did you get from what we just went over between Abraham and Sarah? This account, these particular accounts. I want you to let me know what you got from it. Starting with you, Itazam.
Well, first and foremost, the obvious. He already knew that Sarah was fair, and they were gonna he was thinking, okay, they're gonna try.
He knew that Sarah was fair.
Like she's a beautiful.
She's a beautiful woman.
She's a beautiful woman. So he felt like, oh, they see me with her. They find out that's my rib. They gonna get me. They gonna kill me off to get her. What I'm also seeing is, like, just from verse 12 alone, like Natazak was saying, it's like I'm just thinking of something my father used to tell me when I was a kid. He said,
Hit me with it.
He said, if you're omitting information, you're still lying. Like he's telling the truth, but he's not. Like he knows that they're not getting it, so he's kind of like he's lying. Like in a lack of a better term, he's lying.
Right.
Because he's not giving the actual details. Like, yeah, she's my sister, but she's not really my sister.
Because your wife is your sister.
In a sense.
You get my point? If you with an Israelite woman, that's your sister. So I can be like, that's my sister.
But they're not gonna get it.
You get my point? If I'm at the grocery store in Watts, and they, come up on me like, hey, who's that you with? Oh, that's my sister. I'm in fear because they in the gang and I'm just supposed to be scared. No, that's my woman. What's up? Oh, you know what I mean? Hey, watch your mouth. We gonna go there. Get my point? The Lord with me. You gotta keep that in your mind. The Lord is with me. He's not with you. The fact that you're trying to get at another man's woman, thou art a dead man. That's what the Lord told Abimelech. Right? Was you done? No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, that's all I got, sir.
Most High in Christ. What about you, not Zach? Just better laugh.
Say,
next. I'm just I'm just joking.
What I got from it is, be fearless, pretty much.
Okay, what you mean be fearless? What you mean by that?
Well, be fearless.
It's easy to say that.
If you taking the responsibility.
No, you feel me though?
Come.
It's easy to say be fearless.
Let God be your fear. If you choose to have to rib a beautiful wife, you gotta be willing to die for that box.
Not the box. The door. You'll die for your woman, not the box. Good night. Come on, man.
Nah, just be fearless and let the Lord be your fear. God.
Good, crime shot.
I got basically to fear the Lord. Don't let instead of man, don't let nobody try to intimidate you. Don't get so far in your head.
What you mean by that? Don't get so far in your head.
Basically, because how Abraham he started thinking.
Thinking what?
Before he went into Egypt, thinking that he was gonna be killed over his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like basically getting inside your head,
mm-hmm.
like kind of pushing it before you actually know. So it caused him to lie.
Okay, solid. I remember I was telling y'all about that time. The mother of my children, like she was fair, and they would leave me death threats. In my locker, my PE locker, they would like steal my clothes from my PE locker and would leave notes, all kind of stuff. But I wasn't not with my woman because of them. You get my point?
Right.
They wanted problems. Like, hey, you get my point. I'll walk by them and walk down this 19. Anybody that went to Victor? No, Victor's not too far from me. Walk down 19 steps. As soon as I get down there, what?
Ooh, and
I don't even know you, dog.
Wow.
What's your problem? And why you on what I'm doing so tough? You get my point. That was the whole blacks versus Mexicans feud. I hung out with Judites, Salakia. That's why everybody said, you a Judite? No, I'm a Gadite. But, I could pass for Judah, I guess. But, I'm going to read some of these. Uranus said, don't lie. Fear the Most High power only. Most High in Christ. Get that sister hand. Tapasar said, fear God. These are what they got. Fear God, not man. Don't be a coward. Get that brother a hand. Right? The sister said, Salaki, if I could, be courageous in all things, even if you feel it's in your best interest. Fear no one but him, the Most High. Tell the truth, have have faith. Lying creates chaos. Get us his hand. Now, someone asked a question and said, if I may ask, sir, all of those were excellent. If I may ask, sir, why did Abraham and his wife go into or travel into a Hamite city where Abraham felt he might die or have his rib taken? Sorry, I don't know the whole story. And Tapasar was correct. He responded and said famine. He left. It tells you in. That's why you go into those accounts and read them.
Right.
And my point is really good to read. I know we jump here and there, but read about Abraham. Read about Sarah. Who was Lot to Abraham? Karam Mashat.
Abraham's nephew.
Get that brother a hand. I'm trying to catch you slipping. Go ahead.
I got a question about Lot, but I
Go ahead.
got the class though.
No, is it like a personal question?
Nah, it's more, it's off.
It's a biblical question?
Yeah, kind of.
Ask it.
Right now?
It's class.
Okay. So, the Most High sent the angels to see if there was at least one so-called non-sinner in, what do you call it again? Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. But didn't Lot sin when he offered his daughters to whoredom when they tried to get, you know what I mean, treasure from the angels?
Treasure.
I use that as a
Okay. And intimate.
Right.
So you saying during the time of Lot, when he was in Sodom and Gomorrah, was it a sin for Lot to offer his daughters?
Right.
Was it a sin? Where would this? Okay.
It says thou shalt not offer thy daughters.
Yeah. Oh, there should be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Okay, I can't give you a definite answer. I get what you're saying. I'm gonna have to call Cap and ask him. But what I would think that was, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But also, I mean, I wouldn't, because it's like they going what? What they gonna do? They not gonna stay with them and
Right.
be with them. They were just going, but they didn't want the women. They wanted the men. The men wanted men.
Right.
It was beating down the damn door for men. As far as Lot and his, I gotta get confirmation on that.
Come.
That's a good question though.
Come.
I would think. Let me see. I would think that that's wrong. Me personally, I would think that's wrong. But I know what he was trying to do though. Yeah. We'll let me ask Captain, and I'll give you a call.
Come.
Just give me a text and remind me, all right?
Come.
So, like it says, if you can expound. Yeah, his priority was to protect the angels. I'm just thinking in a sense of that's righteous.
Right.
I'm saying like giving up your daughters. Because he had two daughters. It wasn't just two brothers. Two people. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna go into that. Because I'm not too sure on that. I'm not gonna give a definite answer, so don't quote me on nothing, all right?
Come.
I'm gonna ask Cap. Ask Cap Gadahar. Or maybe we can ask Cap Gadahar scripture breakdown class, you know what I mean?
Come.
I remember the breakdown, but very, very briefly. Very, very briefly. Because I know that he did that out of the spirit of brotherhood, like you said, Tapasar. But was it wrong? The question is, was it wrong? It's a good question. But is there any other questions? We're gonna get back to that question. Any other questions? Khan, no problem. No problem. The water to everybody that tuned in. It's like sir with the brothers. Yeah, kind sis. Like I said, I got a scripture for that. Hold on. It's like it. Urena, hey, Most High Christ, sis. You trying, man. One day closer to the kingdom, you know. One day closer to the kingdom. Let me see if I can find this scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 4:12. Most High Christ. It says, if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. I don't know. I'm going to lay my hand on my mouth and we're going to ask Cap Gadalhar when he get here, all right? So, any other questions or comments, statements, concerns? You know, Passover's coming up. Where's Passover going to be?
Oh, slots. I was gonna say Texas.
Oh, Texas. Texas. We're gonna do it in Texas, cause why? Like Captain McCall Abraham said, our Lord got his foot on our oppressor's neck, man.
Right.
And that's so heavy.
Right.
That's so heavy. So we're gonna have it because traditionally it's gonna be in Jerusalem, which is New York. Spiritually, of course. You get my point? That's home. That's where the truth started. So I want to say the water to everybody that tuned in. We're gonna throw up these prayers, man. Right? This is the closing of the Sabbath service. You know, start your week fresh. You know what I mean? Love your neighbor as yourself. Forgive anybody that needs to be forgiven. You ain't gotta. Oh, you're kind. You know, if you got any problems with anybody, work it out. Read, sis. Revelation 1:3. Blessed is he that readeth. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Read. So with that, we're gonna throw up these prayers, all right? Imagine just me. It's like it.
Should not cut him off the head.
Make sure you burning your incense. Burn your incense. It's like it. What's this called again?
San Antonio.
San Antonio?
Con.
La Yasharala, which means what? Go ahead.
So to Israel.
To Israel. All right. Maya Panya Kodam, which means to stand or rise and face the east. We'll throw up these prayers to the Most High in the name of Yahweh Shai. That's why we say Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Why? Because Christ is the mediator between God and man. You understand? That's the truth. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Kaba'ah, Ratazah, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'ratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Lathalanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalach Lanawa, Kawawath Nawa, Kasalach Nawa, Kawawath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Kabiyah Nawa, Messiah one. Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wathapara, Rawalimium, Aman.
Amen.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, or the power. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Baba Kwashah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kal, Akala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazarayim, Hakak, Laquayim, Amathiam, Hakak, Isle, Rakawath, Tamala, Lagarashan, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Owada, Aman. And what we said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. Power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the lepers. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Wa Tazab Ya'ah. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyum. Ha Saranyum. Ha Kwatazayunyum. Ha Kayayayum. Wa Ha'akwathyun. Yahweh. Wa Hashem. Yahushai. Wa Wada. Aman. And what we said was, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angel. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. And the troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121, Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al, Haryam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arataza, Ayutan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al, Yanawam, Shemarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yaminka, Yawamam, Shamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wa'arach, Elayallah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wa'aka, Ma'ita, Wa'aid, I will. When we said in English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out, and thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. Psalms 83, Elohim, all, Damaya, Lakal, so like Laka, all, Lakarash, all, Ashikwat, all, Kaya, Hana, Awayibika, Yahamayawan, Ra'ash, Ayo, Amaka, Ya'ayamwa, Sawada, Wayata, Aitazawa, Ayo, to the Puanyika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Manakakidum, Magaya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shum, Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Noah, Aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Alaya, Adawam, Wa, Yashmalim, Mawaba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Waimawan, Waimalat, Halashah, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Aimam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labunya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabyan, Anakal, Koyashwan, Ashamadwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Kairab, Kazaba, Kazabak, Wakatazalmanai, Kol, that's a Yakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairasha, Lanawa, Af, Nawath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Waka, Kaash, Labaira, Yaira, Wa, Kalahaba, Kalahat, Haryam, Kun, Naradapma, Wasairaka, Wabasa, Pathka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Dunyahum, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Adya, Aid, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Da'aiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al-Yawan, Al-Kal, Al-Ratazah. Oh, 1 second. Hold on 1 second. These are curses in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
All things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment.
And punishment.
And destruction.
And destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment.
And punishment.
And destruction.
And destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure of the rich.
The treasures of the rich.
Of Israel.
Of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evil and curses.
And punishment.
And punishment.
And destruction.
And destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
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 Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinhead.
Posse Kamikaze.
Posse
The
Kamikaze.
gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spy.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
Nation Space Program.
Nation Space Program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the
The
airways.
cable access channel.
Cable access
And the
channels.
radio channel.
And the radio channels.
Convict the spirit.
Convict
convict the
of
spirit
any of thy people
for any of thy people
that seek to stop us
that seek to stop us
and bring swift death
and bring swift death
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
seek, so like it, that stand in the way,
that stand in the way,
try to stop us
that's trying to stop us
from broadcasting your word
from broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plague.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague
Let the plague
shake the house
shake the house
of the thief
of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine,
Let Yahushua,
Michael,
Michael,
and Gabriel,
and Gabriel
come down,
come down
with the flying saucer
with the flying saucer
and punish all the heathen
all the heathen
that come up against us
that come up against
as
us
we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known
Cause it to be known
by all
by all
that it is the angels
that is the angel
that hath done it.
that have done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it to be spread
through the media, throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole
Cause
world.
them to shake
Cause them to shake
at thy coming.
at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai,
name of Yahushua.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
You can clip the light. You gotta press it twice. Finish, and then you did it? Bottom right corner?
Say click twice.
Yeah. Right click.